Hello friends, welcome to UPSC Logics and my name is Siddharth and today I'm going to discuss Lord Dalhousie's policy of annexation. So Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General of India from 1848 to 56 and he has been credited for the maximum number of annexations using a different or a variety of reasons for annexation of Indian territory, and he annexed almost a quarter of a million square miles of Indian territory to the British Empire. In fact, this was more than any other Governor General, and this policy of Doctrine of Lapse actually was one of the reasons for the revolt of 1857. So let us have a look at Lord Dalhousie's policy of annexation and the misuse of Doctrine of Lapse. So let us have a look at the history before Lord Dalhousie came into power and misused Doctrine of Lapse. So it was the Court of Directors of the East India Company that had articulated this particular policy as early as 1834, and they said that any particular territory that did not have a legitimate heir, or the ruler was misgoverning, or simply the company had a need for a particular territory. So any of such particular eventualities, the company had the right to attach the state or the land to the British Empire. So the company annexed Mandvi in 1839, Kolba and Jalgaon in 1840, and Surat in 1842, using this particular policy of Doctrine of Lapse. So these were the particular Indian states that were attached to the British Empire before Lord Dalhousie became the Governor General of India in 1848. So let us now have a look at Lord Dalhousie's policy of annexation. And Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General who has been credited with the maximum number of annexations. In fact, Lord Dalhousie was a Governor General for almost 8 years from 1848 to 56, whereafter there was the revolt of 1857. So he used a variety of justifications for annexations that included his judgment that a late ruler had lacked a legitimate heir. Number two was that the ruler was misgoverning, or number three, that the company simply needed a particular territory. So the total area that was annexed during Lord Dalhousie's tenure came up to somewhere in the vicinity of a quarter of a million square miles or 680,000 square kilometers. And this was substantially more than any other Governor General. In fact, it was almost 25% of the entire annexations that had been done by the company since its inception. But it wasn't that Lord Dalhousie would annex any property that the court of directors wished. In fact, he refused point blank when he was asked to annex Hyderabad and intervene in Bahawalpur when the court of directors had asked him to do so. So before we have a look at the acquisitions, let us understand what Doctrine of Lapse was. It meant that the company named itself heir to all the rulers who lacked a male heir whom the company recognized. So it wasn't that if a particular ruler had adopted, the company did not recognize it as a heir to the state. In fact, Jhansi was one such state where Rani Lakshmibai had adopted, and the company decided that it did not recognize that particular heir. So let us have a look at the timeline of acquisitions that were done during Lord Dalhousie's tenure. And in 1848, he annexed Satara. Then in 1853, he annexed Nagpur. Then in 1854, he annexed Jhansi. All three of them were annexed because they lacked a male heir. And in 1854, he annexed 8 other smaller states that lacked a male heir. In 1848-49, the Second Anglo-Sikh War happened. Then in 1849, he annexed Trans-Sutlej Punjab. Then 1852, the Second Burma War happened and he annexed Pegu. And in 1856, he annexed Awadh on the grounds of misgovernance. Now, Lord Dalhousie just did not stop at applying Doctrine of Lapse or annexing territories on his whims and fancies. He also derecognized certain dynasties. So in 1851 he stopped the pension of Peshwas of Marathas. Then in 1854 he stopped the pension of Nawab of Bengal. In 1855 he stopped the pension of Nawab of Karnataka. And in 1855 itself he stopped the pension of Raja of Tanjore. So we can see that Lord Dalhousie used a number of reasons to annex properties such as lack of legitimate heir, then the ruler was misgoverning, or simply that the company needed that particular territory. In fact, the Rajas of Satara and Jhansi had each adopted a son prior to their deaths in 1847 and 53, and despite the formal adoption, the company had refused to acknowledge the adopted sons as heirs, and it was only in the case of Nagpur where the ruler did not have any son, natural or adopted, and Nagpur was annexed by the company on Raja's death in 1853. So friends, this brings us to the end of this particular video, and I hope you have enjoyed this particular video. So if you are watching it for the first time, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the latest notifications from UPSC Logics. And thank you so much for watching, and Jai Hind.